With Canadian immigration and the provincial authorities making changes almost every other day, planning for permanent residence has become a big problem. With all the uncertainties around immigration policies in Canada, folks who are trying to plan their future, who are trying to plan ahead and target certain pathways, are confused, are in dismay because whatever plan they make may be dismantled by immigration authorities or PNP officials when they close that particular stream or they make significant changes to that particular program that they're targeting. Now, given this particular scenarios, how can folks plan for PR in Canada in 2025? Let's find out. We're going to talk about this in this video, so stay tuned until the end of the video. 2024 is almost coming to an end. We are in mid-October of 2024, and let's see how we can better plan ourselves to achieve the dream of Canadian permanent residency for 2025. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Dhruv. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. At our firm Effizient, we assist all prospective immigrants with their immigration to Canada. If you are an immigrant or if you are an employer who is looking to hire an immigrant, you need assistance with their immigration procedure for their work visas, for their families' work visas or families' visas, or their permanent residence. Here is our contact information. Feel free to contact us. We would be happy to assist you. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about different scenarios and how you can target for permanent residence in those different scenarios. On top of that, I'm going to give you a secret sauce that may work for a lot of you. It is a hard pathway. However, if you're at it, that is going to give you a high chance of winning in 2025 or beyond. Before we go into the content of this video about planning for permanent residence, let's quickly answer the comment of the week. So this week's comment comes from Pawan Kumar. The question is a very good question, and the question is that his work permit extension was refused. He got an invite for express entry and submitted an express entry application. He's still within the 90-day period. Can he apply for bridging open work permit? Excellent question. So if I understand correctly, the work permit application was refused in the last 90 days. The express entry invite came, you have submitted a complete application. Now you have gotten the acknowledgement of receipt. You're still within the 90-day period. You have not applied for any other restoration or any other thing. Now you can apply for bridging open work permit along with restoration of status, and you're good to go. You cannot work until that application for work permit is approved or your PR is approved. Again, in this case, your work permit will get approved first and then only your PR will get approved, because through your restoration and work permit application, you will come back into status. Again, you won't be able to work until a decision is made on the work permit application. All you can do is wait for that decision. All right, guys, so let's talk about how to target PR for 2025. So guys, I'm going to talk about different scenarios, and the scenario number one is that you have a bachelor's degree and you did a Canadian 1-year certificate or 2 certificate programs or a 2-year diploma in Canada. You have foreign experience of maybe a year, at least a year, or around 3 years back home, and you have 1 year of Canadian work experience. If you fall into this bucket, then at this point you are the ideal candidate that express entry is looking at. But just make sure that if you are 50 years old, then this may not be correct. However, if you are between ideally between 20 and 30, that's amazing. Even if you are in early 30s, 31, 32, again, this program is going to be the best for you. All you need to do is do the best, that is CLB 9 or 10 in English, and express entry is going to be the easiest, most pain-free, and the quickest pathway for you. Scenario number two is that you do not really have a bachelor's degree. You came here on a 2-year diploma program, you graduated, and now you've been working in Canada, but you're working in one of the in-demand areas that could be healthcare or trades, or may even be STEM. Then you have the option of either the express entry category specific draws, you have the option of the PNP programs for all these high in demand occupations. OINP is one example where OINP is continuously making draws in healthcare, in trades, and also in tech. So there is the human capital priorities in OINP, and there's also the OINP's international student stream. These programs are drawing candidates in occupations that are high in demand. So if you don't have an extensive education background or foreign experience, you graduated inside Canada from a non-degree program, from a college program, but you're working in healthcare or in one of the in-demand occupations, then again you are in a spot where you can leverage that particular occupation towards your permanent residency. You are in a good state. Now the third scenario is that you came to Canada after grade 12, you did a 2-year diploma program, and now you're not working in any of the in-demand occupations. As an example, you came here for a 2-year diploma after grade 12, you graduated, and since then you've been working as a food supervisor, or you have been working as a retail supervisor or a security supervisor, and now you are trying to unveil what kind of PR pathway you can follow. Now guys, in this scenario, either you move and target a specific regional program. This could be a PNP program in the provinces that are open for you, or the Atlantic immigration program. Now keep in mind that we are in at the end of 2024. 2025 is yet to start. In 2024, we've seen a lot of changes in different PNP programs. A lot have restricted their intake. Similarly, these changes may continue towards AIP or towards PNP programs in 2025 as well. Yes, you can move and target these programs, but if you think that you can stay, say, in Ontario and target express entry, that would be very hard without any LMIA or without any additional points through either LMIA or French. And in such a case, you'll often have to move elsewhere in order to obtain your permanent residency. Now, moving is an option. However, with government changing policies at a very high pace, moving again becomes a little daunting, because you end up targeting a pathway, you end up quitting your current job, you move somewhere, you try to find a new job, you end up finding that job, and then the government discontinues that particular program. You have uprooted everything and moved all across the country for nothing. And that's where a lot of people are finding themselves stuck today, because they're saying that even if we end up going to, say, Nova Scotia, they're not processing any applications outside of the priority occupations. And we are scared that even if we end up investing in moving and giving up our current jobs, we may get nowhere. And this is a very valid concern, not even for applicants, but we as professionals, when we are advising folks, we don't know what to answer to this question, because we don't know how the government is going to change. And that's where this golden pathway comes into picture. The golden pathway I'm talking about here is French language proficiency. Guys, the Canadian government can open and restrict immigration pathways, but one thing we've seen historically and one thing we've seen culturally is they are always going to prefer French speaking individual and make immigration policies catered towards French speaking individuals. So even if the government comes in and ends up closing down programs, French speaking program would be the last program that they would touch, and hence this at this point is the safest route to Canadian permanent residence. Now, it's not a cakewalk, it's not easy to do French, but I'll tell you the advantages so that you get a little motivated to do that. Firstly, if you are able to score CLB5 in speaking or listening under the Francophone Mobility C16 LMIA exemption code, you can renew, you can extend your work permit without an LMIA. All you need is an employer who is giving you a job. No LMIA, nothing, just with that French exam result, CLB5 in speaking and listening, you can extend your work permit. So that means your work permit, even if it's running out, you are safe. You can extend it. You don't have to apply for visitor records or leave the country right away. Secondly, If you can score CLB 7 in all different modules in the French exam, then you're almost guaranteed Canadian permanent residence. You are like 99.99% there. And the reason is with CLB 7, you get instantly 50 points towards express entry. You become eligible for express entry's French speaking drop, and hence uh, you can directly target express entry in that case for your permanent residence. On top of that, different provinces have French speaking pathways for their provincial nominee programs, and if you get those scores in French, you can target those pathways. So you'll have ample different pathways to look at, which are always open and accepting applicants. There is the French pathway under express entry, French category speaking stream. You have the additional points that you get in express entry, and you have the PNP pathways. So if you don't have extensive educational background, foreign experience, express entry scores are capped at 450 for you, then French is something that will save you, especially if you're not working in any of the priority occupations. So guys, that's it for this video. In summary, we've talked about different pathways, express entry, and who would be the ideal candidate for it. We've talked about PNP and other regional programs and how you can target those. We've talked about if you are working in priority occupations, what different pathways are available for you. And lastly, we've talked about that program that is your golden ticket if nothing applies to you, if after everything you don't see yourself getting any close to Canadian permanent residence. It's the French speaking pathway. Now guys, when TR to PR came, they had unlimited allocation for French speakers. If you could score well in French, if you'd score CLB 4 or 5 in French, they allowed you to apply. There was no cap on the applications, and a lot of folks ended up learning French from scratch and were successful in applying for that program. So that's your motivation right there to be able to achieve your goal for Canadian permanent residence through French. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you were able to get some understanding of how you can go about targeting your permanent residence in Canada. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you are notified about any new video that we upload. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.